Hello and welcome to the EggBanana podcast. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Mark.
And I'm Edward.
So today's episode, we're going to talk about how people like to go to beautiful destinations. But of course, during a lockdown, we can't really travel. So we wanted to kind of like point out Taiwan. Taiwan actually has a lot of beautiful destinations and sceneries. So if you're in Taiwan, like definitely you don't need to like kind of travel. There's a lot of places here in Taiwan that you can go and check out. I know for me, like my first time when I came to Taiwan, me and my friends, we actually travel around Taiwan in a circle where we started from Taipei, went to Qualian, and went to Kenting, and then Taichung. Taiwan offers a lot of beautiful destinations and areas to go and see. So, do you guys have any favorites or any destinations that you guys would recommend to travelers or to our listeners?
For me, I've been all around Taiwan as well. Before I moved here, actually, I came here for a couple weeks from Singapore, and I just went from like the north to the south and back. At that time, I hadn't been to Qualian yet. I just traveled like the other side. Like I went from Taipei to like Changhua and Taichung and Tainan, Kaohsiung, Pingdong, like that area, and then back. Mostly using like the high-speed rail. And then coming back up.
Pretty expensive.
Yeah, I don't really remember how much it was. How much are tickets? Like, isn't it just like 1,000 NT or 2,000 NT or something, like one way all the way from the north to the south? Or is it a little more?
It is. Yeah, about. Yeah. And okay, also, guys out there, Ryan is super rich. He's like the Bruce Wayne of Taiwan. Okay, so did you notice that?
No. I think it's fair. I think it's a fair rate, right?
No. It's 1,000 from Taipei to Taichung, I believe, or maybe close to 700 NT.
Right.
So, but yeah, very fast and very comfortable actually. So.
Right, because
the fastest way to travel.
Right. I was gonna say you have an option. It's either you can go there by HSR if you want to get there in a quick, efficient way. Of course, you can always take a train or bus, but then you have to add extra time on it, and you're basically jammed into a bus or a van. So it kind of depends on you if you kind of want to sacrifice time, and so if you want to sacrifice your time and get a cheaper fare, or if you're willing to put a little bit more money. So yeah, it's about 1,000 NT, which is about, oh man, I gotta look at the currency exchange app.
It's about $30
US dollars,
yeah.
Right? And then I was just gonna say, since these guys, unless Ryan, you had more to talk about as far as destinations. No,
not necessarily.
Okay. Okay. So for me, my turn to pitch in. I would say I really enjoyed. It sounds a little bit commercial, but Kaohsiung and Taichung, they kind of blend together. Because when I first came to Taiwan with a good friend of mine, and I just remember, I forgot which one it is. Mark, maybe you could correct me, or Ryan. We went to see like the night markets. We went to Monkey Mountain. Have you guys heard of that? Monkey Mountain?
Well, I heard that there's an area where there's a lot of monkeys near a university in Kaohsiung.
Okay, so that's probably okay. Thank you so much. So that's probably Kaohsiung. You go to this mountain, it's pretty crazy. There's these like kind of small white, kind of like albino looking monkeys, and then you're told like you can't feed them because I guess like a lot of tourists have gone ahead and tried to feed the monkeys. So when you went there, it was really funny. I went there with a friend. He had food in his backpack, and basically when we were sitting there, a monkey did come, and then like kind of start like trying to rifle through his backpack. It's basically the wildlife there. You're not supposed to encourage them because otherwise, if you start feeding them, they're gonna kind of get accustomed to doing that. So I had a really good time in Kaohsiung, Taichung. Oh man, Love River again. Ryan, Kaohsiung, I think that was like one of the prominent places to go. I think. Ryan,
I haven't heard of that actually.
Yeah,
Love River.
in
Love
Kaohsiung,
River?
there's I think they call it like Love River or something in Kaohsiung. So
Okay.
yeah.
So and for me, I don't know if you guys agree or disagree. It's kind of like a lot of people who live in Kaohsiung or Taichung or go visit. It's more spaced out than Taipei, and then there they do have MRT or public transportation, but I feel like it's a little bit fewer and far between when you compare to Taipei. And a lot of people there will just use scooters, and it's definitely a lot of walking. So it's a very beautiful area. Some people will say, not me, some people will say maybe the Kaohsiung weather and the weather in Kaohsiung is nicer in the summer and the winter. I don't know, or no, not nicer, hot, more extreme. That's it, more extreme in the winter and the summer, and it's definitely more spaced out. So that's basically my initial thoughts about the topic. Mark, anything you want to add or continue with the discussion?
Well, I do want to point out for the HSR or high speed rail, or in Chinese, I think they pronounce it Gaotie.
Gaotie, yeah.
Even though it's very fast and very comfortable, it's only runs along the west coast of Taiwan, so not on the east. So
Did not know that. Okay.
I just wanted to point that out. And as far as probably one of my favorite places is probably Kenting. Sadly, I've only been there
Kenting.
once, which was my first time coming to Taiwan. So I think it was really beautiful. Like the beaches was really beautiful there. The waves are not so high, but I have seen people trying to surf on the waves. I think you and Edward, we have a mutual friend, and he actually goes surfing somewhere near Elan. So
yes,
and I know there's some waves there.
Yeah. Can I ask a question? Did you go because usually a more popular time to go, especially for younger people, is during what they call spring scream. Did you go during that time? I'm just curious.
I don't remember exactly.
Okay. And to let the listeners out there know, basically spring scream is like a time, I want to say like March or April, where a lot of kind of bands, local bands, a lot of the younger generation will go down there. They kind of have like parties. I mean, probably not now, but before they would have parties. They have bands there, kind of outdoor luau's, that kind of thing. I don't know if Mark, you had any experience that one time that you went with any of that?
The time that I went was somewhere during the middle of summer, and
okay.
And one of my friends that was with us, he actually booked a room there, and it's actually kind of interesting. I don't know how he did it, but we booked a room through a like a Catholic church, and so I don't know if you guys have heard of that before. So like,
no,
I don't know, like a monastery, okay. And we just stayed in there like a hostel. So, but I do remember one of the nights we did go out, and the street was like packed full of people, just like on a normal street. And there was like no way cars could like go up and down the street because it was like packed full of people. So,
right.
I don't know if that was during that time that you mentioned. So,
Okay.
I'm trying to think what else. I do want to say, like, if there's more people who prefer more nature, well, besides the beach, I do want to point out the middle of Taiwan, Nantou, is very beautiful. A lot of mountains and trees. And
have you guys been to Sun Moon Lake?
Oh, I was about to mention that. Yeah. Have you been there, Ryan?
I've not.
You
Yeah, I went once. Yeah, I went once last year. It is really beautiful, really nice place.
I had
Mark,
heard
you've been?
recently because there hasn't been a lot of rainfall, so it was kind of like drying up a little bit. So.
Right.
And I do want to point out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Go ahead.
at Summer Lake, there's a gondola or a cable car, and if you
Yes,
take that,
yes.
it's like actually really beautiful. So.
It is really
yeah,
cool.
can
Yeah,
I-
I took that.
Yeah.
Can
go
I
ahead.
can I ask you guys? Can I ask because I've never been to Sunmoon Lake? I know. Please. Very sad. Is it similar to the gondola? You said gondola, correct?
Yeah, gondola.
Yeah, like a cable
car.
Is it-
car.
Is
yeah.
it right? Is it similar to the gondola near Taipei Zoo? Because the Taipei Zoo also has one. Is it basically the same thing?
True. Yeah, it's the same thing, but I feel like the one at Summer Lake is, I don't know if it's more scenic, I guess, but like you do
Okay.
go over like part of the lake, and you can look out like a lot, like a far distance, and it's like very see a lot of nature. So, but I like the one in Maokong near Taipei Zoo.
Mm-hmm.
It's also, I think, pretty beautiful. Like you can look out through the city and like see Taipei 101. So,
Right, Mark. I have two questions that I think the audience needs to know. Number one, when you went to the lake, did you try to pull out Excalibur from the water? And number two, did a mermaid come out, and did you fall in love with a mermaid at Summer Lake? We must know this.
as far as mermaids, I don't know. But I do want to point out, actually, there's an annual event. I think I don't know if it's September or October, but a lot of people actually try to swim across Summer Lake.
Yes. Yeah.
So, actually, I wanted to try to register for that once, but it's like packed. Very popular event.
Right. Ryan, I have to say, and hopefully I'm not speaking out of turn, I got to thank this man because he invited me recently to Qualian, which I've never been before. Okay, so I'm curious if you could, because it was my first time going there. I loved it. Would you kind of like to extrapolate or what you think about Qualian, and if you've been there many times, or what's your overall impression of it, I guess?
Sure. Yeah, actually, it was my first time, and we
okay.
went. You know,
Sorry.
it's it was. Yeah, we went with a group of people, a few friends, and it was pretty cool. It was a little bit cooler than I had expected. Actually, I didn't realize there would be like a lot of good restaurants there and things like that, because like my experience like in the Philippines, whenever you go to a place that's more like outside of the bigger city or the beach areas and things like this, maybe it's harder to find good food, especially for me being a vegetarian. But we ate at a lot of good places in Hualien, and you know, we saw the ocean and the beach and stuff like that. It was nice place. We
went to the what was that gorge called? Like that I was definitely afraid of. What was that gorge? Taroko? Is that it?
Yeah, Toroko Gorge. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty cool hot springs, like a little hidden hot springs that one of our friends took us to, who's like from Qualian, a local there. So that's how we were able to go. But yeah, like Edward said, it was kind of crazy getting there because we had to go down the side of this, I don't know, this rock, or not, like a kind of like a mountain or something, and then there was just like a rope, and we had to like just barely make our way down. After jumping over like a gate or a fence or something, and then it was a little dangerous, but it was worth it, right? It was totally worth it. The hot springs was really beautiful and really nice, and it was a good experience.
My opinion is when you're going down or going up, don't look back. It's not for the faint of heart, but otherwise it was okay. Mark, what were your impressions of Hualien? That was your first time as well?
I wouldn't say first time. Like before my first time to Taiwan, like I took a trip to Hualien, and during that time, I actually had a friend who lived in Qualian, so I made several trips to Qualian. So, and I've been to Troca Gorge a couple times, and it was actually pretty good experience. I do recommend, like, for a lot of people visiting Taiwan, like to visit Troca Gorge. So
Right.
I think that time that we went all together and we went to the hot spring, I think that was very memorable. I think that was pretty cool. So because our friend mentioned, it's like I want to say it's like a secret spot, but it was kind of cool. Like, not too many people kind of knew that spot. So
Right.
Yeah, would you say there were around 20 people there? 20 or even less?
Fun.
Maybe?
Yeah, probably
15?
not.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that was
that was pretty cool.
Yeah. It was a great trip. Great idea, Ryan. I'm gonna pick another place. Technically, it's still in Taiwan, right? But you have to take an airplane, so I don't know if this counts as far as just being able to take public transport. But I don't know if Ryan and Mark have been there before, but I really enjoyed it. I went with my friend to Penghu. Have you guys ever been to Penghu? So when I went there, it was basically, it's very rustic, very beautiful area, very rural. And then what I enjoyed is we went snorkeling, and we were able to go to this place. You rent wetsuits, you go there. It was a lot of fun, and the food around there was really good, very local food. So I don't know if Ryan, you've been to Penghu, or Mark, maybe.
I haven't been yet, but I have seen photos. It looks pretty cool. Mark, have you been there?
Yeah. Mark?
I have not. It's one of so if our listeners don't know Penghu is actually one of the few islands around Taiwan. So for me personally, I haven't been to Penghu, but I have been to another island of Taiwan called Green Island, or Lu Dao.
Ooh.
So basically, you have to go to Taidong, which is south of Qualian, and then from there, most people usually take a boat from Taidong to Green Island. So, and Green Island is actually, I think for me, very beautiful. It's a very small island. Like, you can rent a scooter and just ride around the island like in 1 hour, so, or less than that. So, and from what I remember, not Penghu, but Green Island used to be famous for a prison there. So the prison is still there, but it's abandoned right now. So, but it's just kind of interesting, like they used to have a prison there. So definitely would recommend that. Green Island, I think, is pretty beautiful. But yeah, there's several islands around Taiwan that I would recommend visiting.
How about
What's that, Ryan?
Alishan Mountain? Alishan, have you guys been there? In Jiayi?
Alishan. I've been to Jiayi, but I don't know if I've been to Alishan Mountain. But why don't you tell the audience about it? I'm sure they're curious about it.
Oh, well, I only went there once, and I didn't go like all the way up the mountain, but I guess it was that was also before I moved to Taiwan, just when I was visiting. But yeah, there's like, I think there's like a bus or something that can take you up part of the way, and then you can continue on the rest of the way or something like that. But when I was there, the weather wasn't very good, so actually we ended up skipping going up there. I was there with a couple of my friends, one guy that I had met from what's it called, couch surfing, and one of his friends. So so I had met him through couch surfing, and he let me stay at his place in Pingdong, and then we went from Pingdong to like Tainan and Jiayi and stuff by car with his friend, and it was pretty cool. But unfortunately, like I said, the weather wasn't that good that day, so we didn't end up going up the mountain. But we stayed in Jiayi at one of their friends' houses that they have like a little Airbnb thing, and it's interesting because they have these little pods that look kind of like, if I remember correctly, it kind of looked like a Pokemon ball or something, but you like can crawl in it and you can sleep inside, and it's really close, I think, to the mountainside. But yeah, it was kind of cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. It was interesting that what you were just saying. I don't know if I've been to Alishan Mountain, but I've been to Chiayi, and I've been to, my sister-in-law is from Ilan, so I've been there, and it's definitely, I don't want to say night and day different from Taipei, but it's definitely more rustic. It's very beautiful, more spread out, and those places are famously known for like outdoor spas. So I got to do some of that, or like the artificial ones as well as the natural ones. So those were kind of interesting. I don't know if you guys have ever been to kind of those type of spas before, Mark or Ryan.
It's like a hot spring, you said, or?
Yeah, like a hot spring. Sorry, not spa, hot spring. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Besides the one that we went to in like Qualian, and I'm trying to think.
Have you been to the one in Beito?
Beito.
I haven't
No,
been
I have not.
there, but
Surprisingly.
I've heard of it. So, I do want to point out in Green Island. So I heard there's only 3 of this in the whole world, and it's basically a hot spring that's on the beach. So, and supposedly Green Island is one of those places that has a hot spring on the beach. So, just want to point that out.
Interesting.
Cool. I was gonna say another place. I'm sure. I don't know if you guys have been there. Get your input about it. It's not too far away from Taipei. I know Mark has been. I'm pretty sure Ryan has, but I don't know. Keelung or Keelung. So I went there. They have an interesting night markets. The funny thing about Keelung is it's kind of a joke. I love Keelung. I love the Keelung people, but it rains there a lot of the year. So it's always raining there. So people are just like, ah. So I don't know what your experience was with it, Ryan. Keelung.
So it's like the Seattle of Taiwan or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There pretty often.
Yes.
I think I have. Yeah, I have been to Keelung. I've been to. I think I went to Ilan, Keelung, Jinshan, like that whole, maybe up north, and I've been over to Jiufan, and I've been to a few of those places over there. You guys have been to Jiufan before?
Yeah, I've been there several times, and
I think so. Yeah.
I would actually, I know like that's a very popular spot for a lot of Japanese people. So, and then I've heard that Jiufan is an inspiration for the Miyazaki's film called, the English title is Spirited Away. So.
Ooh.
Right.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice info. Nice info drop there.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
I know.
So, yeah.
I want to say something like, I know it's pretty lame, but actually, I really like big cities. I like big cities.
Okay.
So I think out of all of Taiwan, Taipei is still my favorite. I know that a lot of people would disagree. Like Qualian was nice. It's cool to travel around and go to different places, but I still really love it here in Taipei. I feel like it's, the further you go out, the less convenient things are, and the harder it is to find good food, especially, like I said, me being a vegetarian and stuff like that. So I really love it here. But I have another friend from the UK, and he's been in Taiwan for around 10 years or something like that. And he keeps trying to get further and further away from Taipei because he loves the outdoors, natural, whatever. He's considered moving to Hualien, or he went to Taidong for a while and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know about you guys. Do you think in the future you guys want to move further away from the city, or you think you'll live in Taipei for a long while? Or
for me, number one, I'm definitely afraid of scooters. So I think I have to be in Taipei. It's just more convenient with public transportation, buses. I've been living here for 11 years and I've never been like, oh, I can't get to this area. It's pretty convenient, and just like the modern necessities. For me, maybe one day if I get married, I want to retire, or I do. Going back to what you were saying, I do agree with this idea of some people, like, I know some people when they live somewhere else, like somewhere rustic like that, it's usually like, oh, I want to get away from the city, or I want to be alone with my thoughts, or I want to write the next great American novel. That's usually what I get. So it just depends what your cup of tea is. But to answer your question, right now, no, I could not live in one of those places. Nothing against them, love them. I'll go visit. Although it's interesting what you were saying. I thought I could see you in Elon as a farmer, rice farmer? No, Ryan? No, not in your future?
No, probably not.
But Mark, what's your opinion about living in Taipei compared to living in the country, I guess?
Well, for me, I grew up in the country, so I definitely don't want to go back to the. So I mean, I grew up in a town with a population of 6,000 people. So yeah, definitely don't want to go back.
I'm sorry. You said it before, but say it for the audience. Are we allowed to say what state you're from, or you don't want to disclose that information after you gave that that glowing review?
I can. I'm from Kansas, and Kansas is like right in the middle of America. So I call it the Qualian of America. The Qualian of America. It's very beautiful, but yes. But yeah, I agree with what Ryan said. Like, I think for Taipei, it's very convenient for tourists and like for foreigners that want to live here. It's very convenient. Like previously in our last season, we talked about public transportations, and it's just easy to get around, and it's just very cheap. And I don't know, maybe we can do another episode talking about places to visit in Taipei. I feel like there's a lot of places, even in Taipei, to visit for tourists. So, but yeah, I agree with Ryan. Like, I like being in the city. Of course, if like later on, like maybe I do get married or something, I probably won't go too far out. Maybe just the suburbs of New Taipei City, Xingbei. So, but yeah, I still prefer Taipei. And when I first moved to Taiwan, I actually lived in Taichung for 2 years. So, and I feel like even Taichung, I think at the time was the second biggest city in Taiwan, next to Kaohsiung, and then of course Taipei is the number one. But Taichung was actually very comfortable. I'd say comfortable, like a very small town atmosphere, at least to me. So, and I do have to say it does have one of the best weathers in Taiwan, but for me, I think Taipei is still number one. So yeah.
Cool. Well, I think it's a good time to wrap it up here. I think it's about to be going over time. So, well, yeah. Thank you everybody for listening and watching. Now that we're here in virtual reality, for those of you who are just listening to us on the podcast on Apple Podcast or Spotify, be sure to check out our YouTube channel because now you can actually see us. So, any last words for our viewers?
Right. So I would just kind of add to what Ryan said. Basically, again, we appreciate all the support, the feedback we've gotten from you on social media, IG, Facebook, Twitter, etc. We do read it. We do try to respond to it as we can because at the end of the day, not to sound too cliche, without you guys, there is no podcast, there is no YouTube channel. And then like Ryan had just said, yes, basically we started to do this new content with these lovely avatars. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys can tell this is not what we really look like in real life. And this is for you guys. Hopefully this is, so we give you different kind of content to consume. Some people, they just want to put the headphones on. Other people, they want to see us. They want to get to know us, that kind of thing. So I think hopefully we're kind of satisfying all your content needs and requirements. And I would just say, it really does help us if you could subscribe, follow, like, save, share, all that stuff. And we're just going to continue to churn out quality content. Right, guys? That's all I want to say.
Yeah, sounds good to me. And if you guys have any other topics that you want us to talk about, please let us know and comment. So, yeah.
And if you want Mark, if you want Mark to wear that banana avatar again, or me, please comment down below. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, let us know in the comments. All right, high five.
Pop.
All right,
pop.
Mark.
Pop.
Mark, can you try to climb the tree for us, Mark? Let the viewers see.
Yes.
Mark.
Mark.
Yeah,
Mark.
can you do it?
That's pressure. Mark. Yes. Go.
Do it. Go. Oh, you can do it.
You go. Go get the coconut. Go.
I don't know if this is working.